Have you heard this saying that trading is extremely difficult or trading is very hard, maybe from your friends, family, or even trading gurus? Well, in this video, I have to tell you that this advice is complete BS. And stick around, watch the video till the end, because by the time I'm done sharing what I have to share in this video, you'll be completely on board with what I have to say next. For those of you who are new to this channel, well, my name is Shaun and I'm an equities trader. I do this for a living. I've been trading the markets for eight and a half years at this point, and let's actually get into it. By the way, real quick guys, before we actually get onto the main topic of this video, please consider hitting the like button, as it really helps the channel with the YouTube algorithm. And for those of you who are interested in learning how to trade stocks in the right way, and you appreciate the more insightful and educational content on how to trade stocks, consider subscribing to this channel, because all it takes is just one single video, one new idea that could really just give a new direction to your trading. So subscribe to this channel and let's actually get into it. So this advice that trading is extremely difficult, whoever is saying these things, right, or whoever is actually listening to this advice, they should be asking themselves, like, compared to what? Trading is difficult compared to what? I mean, it sounds pretty vague, doesn't it? So that's the very first thing. Whoever actually gets bought into this advice should be really asking themselves, and like, what are they comparing trading with? Like, are they comparing trading with baking a cake? Maybe in that case, yes, trading is extremely difficult compared to baking a cake or learning how to make pasta or something, for example, right? So let me address like who's this video exactly for in this video. And obviously it's for developing and intermediate traders who haven't broken through and gained profitability. But I'll also tell you what sort of people, now that I'm actually meeting a lot of people who are interested in learning how to trade, and the trading community, basically I'm actually getting to meet a lot of traders, which is really great. And what I find that only about 5% of people tend to be extremely passionate about the markets and trading. And the 95% of people tend to be just interested in trading the markets, and the primary goal is not to become a trader, but the primary goals tend to be things like they want to achieve freedom, flexibility, obviously a lucrative career. Trading is pretty lucrative if you actually make it, and self-employment, they hate their jobs and things like that. So I'm actually addressing this video for those people, of course, developing and intermediate traders, but also for people who are just interested in the market to making this as a career, but they're not just married to trading yet, at least. And also another side note sort of I want to make, that when traders actually tell me that they're passionate about the markets, first, passion is a very strong word in and on itself. And passion can really be dangerous. I unfortunately was in that sort of cycle where I was just super passionate about the markets, and passion can actually work against you when it comes to your trader development journey. Passionate traders tend to have this tendency where they're not simply looking to make money and make it a career from the markets, right? They tend to have these tendencies where they're primarily looking to become the next market wizards in a lot of ways. And they tend to experience a lot of higher highs with the emotions, and they also tend to experience extreme lows when things are not going well for themselves. They have these tendencies where they want to learn Forex, they want to become better at options, stocks, and crypto, and everything else under the sun. And they want to master every single strategy. That's the kind of tendencies a lot of passionate traders tend to have. Whereas it comes to people who are simply interested in learning how to trade and make this a living, make a living out of this and make this a career, they tend to be okay with learning the bare minimum that they need to master one or two strategies, spend hours or months developing that one single strategy till the time they start breaking through and they start making money. Their primary mental goal is to make money, which is a good thing, I would say. They want to make money and they want to get the ball rolling, and then that's actually the ideal way, in fact, to learn how to trade the markets. Because when I was passionate about trading the markets, those are the tendencies I tended to have. And I see a lot of developing traders, when they say to me that they're just passionate about trading the markets, they also seem to have this thing, and it really ends up working against them. So I'm talking to the trading community, plus also the people who are just kind of interested in learning how to trade stocks. who are simply not married to the idea of becoming a trader. And these people also tend to be okay with whatever gives them the lifestyle, the freedom, the flexibility, and being self-employed, having their own business. They're okay to have e-commerce business or dropshipping business or agency business and things of that nature. So I'm really talking to those people in this video. And also on another side note, basically everything that I'll be sharing this video is based on my own personal experiences, not based on any research or somebody else's experiences. These are all the things that I've actually lived through and gone through it. So first, you have to compare the comparables. I mean, you can't compare trading to anything else, which is not even in the same sort of category. But if you're comparing trading with any sort of self-employment, sort of side business, online business, or even traditional businesses, in those regards, trading is extremely easy and a lot more cost effective, I'd say. I'll just give you a quick personal examples, right? I mean, this was many years ago now. I think 2015, 16 must be, or somewhere around there. I was having a very hard time and I didn't know what I was doing. And, I didn't know what I was, basically I didn't know what I didn't know at that time. So I was losing a lot of money, sort of bleeding my accounts. And more than the money, I think I was just getting super frustrated, angry. And, I was just going through a typical cycle that a lot of developing traders tend to be stuck on. So I was in that cycle and I used to hear this advice a lot. And what it used to do is it used to demotivate me personally. And that's how it's the internet. The moment you start looking for things, you're going to find a lot of things. And then the very first thing I came across was dropshipping business. And I was like, okay, on the surface level, it sounded really good. But when I actually invested in a program, $3,000-4,000 on a program, I started running ad campaigns. And the idea was where you simply run ad campaigns to an audience and you don't even have to own any products. And for those of you who have no idea about dropshipping, it's basically an e-commerce business where you don't have to buy any inventory. You simply have to get orders. The moment customers buy products from you, you can just give the follow-up order to a Chinese supplier. They're going to ship the products to your customer, basically. So I'm not going to go into too much detail on these business ideas, but what I really want to share with you is like my personal experiences and the reality behind everything else out there. None of these businesses are really bad or anything, but if you compare apples to apples, it's just, in terms of effort and money and time required, like trading just outperforms them any time of the day, right? And coming back to dropshipping, nobody talks about how much actual investment you initially need. Like nobody talks about how many failed campaigns you have to go, and every single failed campaign costs you real life dollars. So you have to go through a lot of them, and nobody talks about even if you get winning campaign, it's probably not going to be enough to cover up all the cost or losses that you've incurred with losing campaigns. And whatever sales you make, even if the sales sort of catch up, that is still revenue, not net profits that you can afford to pay yourself, plus the campaigns itself. And when you're starting out, I'm a big fan of, if you're starting out any new venture, I think you need to give yourself a limited amount of capital to test out an idea in a limited amount of time, whether it be 6 months or 8 months or something like that. You just test out this idea. So I'm really talking about that stages, right? And I was just going through this dropshipping cycle for about 6 months, and I realized that it's actually sounds easy, but or sounds very profitable, but it's not a lot. And even if you look at the stats of traders, like traders fail 90%, like 90% of traders fail. That's the common stat, and which is actually true. But if you look at the other side of the coin, basically 90% of businesses also tend to fail. So it's not too different over there, guys. And yeah, dropshipping, I wasted about $10,000 to $12,000 roughly around there. I spent some time, and instead of like pushing through and trying to make this business work, I started realizing that, you know what, I could have spent the same time and same money in trading and I had a better shot. The next couple of businesses I tried was affiliate marketing. And it sounds, again, very simple. You just sell different people's products and things like that. But nobody actually talks about how difficult it could actually be to generate an audience on a cost-effective manner. So it's actually a lot more expensive and a lot more difficult to generate the audiences. The next one would be like marketing agencies or agencies and things like that. This is another business. It sounds pretty easy on the surface level, but nobody really talks about the kind of skills that you have to develop and you have to get good at. In fact, this is one of the businesses that actually made it work and actually did pretty good at while I was still trying to learn how to trade and stuff like that. Uh, and you know what? Success or made it work, I'll actually let you be the judge of it, because I was making what, about $12,000 to $15,000 net profit every single month. So you can decide. For some people, it might just be like very small amounts. For some people, it might be okay. Some people, it might just be pretty great amount. So I'll let you be the judge of that. And the only reason, when I initially started learning how to run an agency and things like that, I was already somebody who's running Facebook ads for an agency and I had this job. But when I actually got into nitty-gritty of it, generating leads and sales and actually dealing with people and dealing with your clients, it can be so much more difficult. Nobody talks about those realities of these businesses, right? And I actually found it to be much more difficult and much more better to just keep on focusing on learning and becoming better as a trader. And even these sort of results, consistent results, consistent clients, I was able to only achieve them because at one point I had a job at a real estate company. And in Dubai, like, real estate is such a booming industry, and if you're doing lead generation marketing sort of work for them, it puts you in it is a needed service in a way. And I ended up getting a job at a very respectable, very reputable company over here, one of the very well-known companies. And I was managing an ad account for them for about $150,000 per month. So that's the kind of ad spend I was managing for them. And at the same time, because I already knew what and I was pretty decent, I guess, on my job, because I helped them improve the results by 55% or so. In like 3-4 months, I improved the results. So I had a good track record, a good sort of badge on my resume. Whenever I would just go to any company and just show my track record, this is what the results I've sort of generated for this employer of mine. And at the same time, while I was at that job, right, I tried to learn as much information as I could about their business, about the industry. And a lot of times real estate brokers, like in terms of knowledge and information about a lot of real estate property products, I would have a lot more information than a lot of brokers whose primary job it was. And that's the kind of person I've always been. So I had huge edge over there because of, in terms of reputation, and that's how I was able to outcompete a lot of agencies and kind of do this thing. I never really pursued this business full time, like for a really long time, and because the goal for me was always to gather up the capital and time to go back to trading. But I just wanted to show you that the realities of any sort of business you do, and at the end of the day, trading is a job or self-employment or a business, regardless of whatever you call it. And it certainly does give you all the lifestyle, but running a business is difficult, is hard work, and it requires a lot of a huge learning curve to go through, and it requires sometimes money, a lot of time, and things like that. So and even real estate industry, right? I mean, I was sort of the marketing expert sort of for real estate industry. I had a huge network and I had a huge number of clients at that time, and I was charging premium prices. But more than what I wanted to say is, even real estate businesses, right, the traditional businesses. So Dubai, real estate is a booming economy. Real estate is the leading sort of industry sector. It's pretty lucrative for a lot of real estate agents and real estate businesses and things like that. But even in this market, every single day, a new real estate business sort of opens up and two close down, even in uptrending market, basically. So if you compare trading to traditional businesses, other online businesses, trading has just such a huge edge, and which I'm about to talk to you next about. And also, before I even talk about trading and the advantages of trading, I want you guys to understand that this is not a pitch for everybody to leave whatever they're doing and start becoming traders. But this is really sort of my personal experiences on how I actually got bought into these advices, which ended up costing me or leading me to sway away to different things, and costed me to have that shiny object syndrome. So I just kept on chasing other things. And after doing all of these things, like I'm just sharing my experiences. And at the same time, I don't want to sway away anybody from who wants to run an agency, who wants to run an e-commerce business. It's okay to pursue these things, but if you're really interested in it, and also if you start doing these things, think through things objectively is basically the point of this video. And if you start thinking about things more objectively and in a much more detailed fashion, you'd realize that a lot of these online businesses or even traditional businesses, there is actually no way to understand or estimate on how much exactly you need to invest upfront in terms of capital, just to test the idea, if you can actually see the ball rolling and things like that. So that's actually a huge disadvantage in a lot of businesses, because even dropshipping agencies and things like that, you would start calculating these things, and you would soon realize that whatever you initially expected, now it ends up costing you a lot more, or maybe even double, just to test out the idea and to get the ball rolling. And every single business is going to have its own learning curve that everybody needs to go through. So that's besides the point, basically, because that requires in everything that you do, right? So that's another one of the things. And when it comes to trading now, like, again, you have to learn things the right way. That's one thing, very common in trading, very common in any other online sort of businesses or any entrepreneurial journey that you sort of go through. But when it comes to trading, so much more free information is available out there on the internet, for people to actually get good at trading. And for those of who are looking to just fast track their journey, basically there are paid programs, and then there are slightly more expensive mentorship programs, and they're not always necessary, but it really depends on people to people or person to person, basically, if they want to just fast track their learning curve and go through the journey faster. So that's where the paid programs or mentorships comes in. But so much information is available out there for free on the internet, or paid, or mentorships and things like that, whatever you're really into. But when it comes to trading, estimation of it just becomes so much more easier, that you can allow yourself 6 or 8 months or a year just to test out the idea, just to see like if this is something you can actually make it work and want to continue pursuing and developing and things like that. But at the same time, you can start testing out different strategies on demo account, which doesn't cost you anything. If you want to invest a little bit more, maybe like $50-$60 per month on a subscription, or if you really want to have something more fancier, just to simulate that real market sort of environment, those subscriptions are again like $150, $200 and max, even if you want to just go all out, just to see the platforms and experience the markets, how they are in real time. And you can actually test out your strategies. Once you learn how to trade the markets and understood the markets, how they function, and this is like, you've learned things the right way, and now you're just testing it out. And once you see yourself practicing on simulator with fixed expenses, and you've allocated like certain time just to see if the idea even has any legs, then you can start putting in like a small account, like $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 account. And what's the worst that could happen? You're not going to lose more than whatever you've initially deposited into your account. And if you can make it work, and if you are somebody who's starting to have good P&L, good performance, and you're starting to become more consistent with your trading, that's where you can start allocating more time and more resources into it. But that's basically it. Like, the whole idea of having to test out a new idea of online business, or to achieve a certain lifestyle, trading just gives you so many more options to actually learn and get better at trading without really being in the blind on how much investment in terms of capital you might require a lot of times. So that's one thing. And also getting better at trading, if you put in the work, there are just so many simulator tools, like how did the market actually behave, or you can even do some things like record your own screens with trading. That's what I actually did to get better at my entries, my tape reading skills, and even developing my patience in a lot of ways. So there's just so many tools and softwares available on the internet today, with super cheap, like $60-$70 subscriptions almost, and they allow you to get better at trading so much more faster if you just put in the work. So those were just my 2 cents on how trading is actually super easy. And I'm actually coming from a point of view that I've actually tested out a lot of different businesses. even though I was just passionate, and this exact listening to this exact advice actually caused me to just sort of look on different paths, because it was just getting mentally difficult. And at this, like when I was going through those things, it was just getting mentally difficult for me to start believing, is this something even working? But in knowing what I know now, I just didn't know any better, and I was just kind of clicking the buttons and just making a bunch of lines on the charts, and those are the kind of things I was doing. But when it comes to traditional businesses, and really so many online businesses out there, and these are just some of the businesses that I've actually gone through and experienced. There might be some other businesses, who knows? But and once again, guys, this was not a pitch for anybody to just leave whatever they're doing and just start becoming a trader. It was really a sort of video about bringing you guys more awareness on like whatever you want to pursue, just pursue it. Every single business is going to be hard at first. You have to go through learning things the right way, and you have to go through that learning curve and the initial journey every single business owner sort of goes through. And trading is no difficult or no not any different, not any more difficult than anything else out there. The dynamics of how to trade the markets is very different. Like whereas a traditional or online businesses might give you better results if you just hustle, sort of thing. Like instead of sending 300 cold emails, if you start sending 1,000 emails, sure, that sort of thing is different. But the difficult sort of things in trading comes when you have to be patient for a prolonged amount of time, and you have to maintain the focus. But so the dynamics of the businesses are different. But when it comes to people just starting out, it's just so much more easy and accessible for everybody to just get good at trading, for somebody who really wants to pursue trading as a career. And so yeah, those were just basically my 2 cents. Again, it was not a pitch for everybody to become trader, but it was more of an awareness, sort of an insight that if you're trying to do anything, just have more awareness and have more clarity before actually dabbling into it, investing your time and money into whatever it is that you're doing. So that would be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you find it insightful or helpful. If you did, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe to see more trading related content on this video. And sometimes not even so trading, but mostly I'll try to stick with trading content. With that, I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Cheers.